What brushes do you use for your artwork?
I was just wondering.
What brush did you use for your sketch?
Yo, it's Shin. So here's what you need to know about the Shin's Creation brush set. There's a total of 8 brushes: triangle brush, render brush, soft render brush, ribbon brush horizontal, ribbon brush vertical, water brush, outline brush, and fuzzy brush. Let's start with the main brush, triangle brush. A brush that produces different sizes of triangle each time. Based on the color you choose, the color will produce related color to the color chosen. In terms of controllability, the brush opacity will differ from different pressure, and that's kind of it. You can use it for funfetti and cool triangle effect, like how I use it for my own artwork for a personal marking. Next, render brush. Just as the name says, it's a brush for rendering. It's my most used brush out of all the brush in the sets because it's multi-purpose. Based on the pen pressure, the opacity will be affected, and you can also change the opacity manually for different purposes. Want a precise, small, full opacity brush? Here you go. Want an airbrush? Just increase the brush size and lower the opacity, and boom! The brush's shape is a sharp circle, so it produces these little transparent circles, so it's great for texture. I use this for rendering, sketch, line work, blocking out shape, and like I said, multi-purpose. But what is better? Soft render brush! This is basically the previous brush, but much softer and give better controllability. You can say it's more beginner friendly. You can control its pressure sensitivity a lot easier, and it's great for things such as a long session of rendering, like for me. But yeah, these 2 render brushes is pretty neat, and I think you guys will like one or another. Next up, ribbon brush. There's 2 ribbon brushes, horizontal and vertical. Both system is pretty similar, but can be used for different purposes. For example, for a horizontal ribbon brush, you can lay out ribbon horizontally. You can use it to block out horizontal objects like bridge, floor, long street lamp, and surprisingly, a very good highlighter. As for a vertical ribbon brush, you can draw a ribbon vertically. You can use it for funfetti, blocking out buildings, windows, water, and anything your creative mind can think of, it can do it. I personally use these brushes for a very rough sketch, and these brushes is also pretty good for art style. Example, making your art look like it's drawn with a Copic marker. Next up is a water brush. As I just said, this brush is pretty great for watercolor style, and you can use it to integrate it into your art to have more variety of media in your digital work. By doing this, you can make it look very stylistic and cool, and even make a new style with this. And since this brush is somewhat opaque, this brush is pretty good for color theory study. Now to a brush that I really like, the outline brush. Just as the name suggests, this brush has an outline. I often use it for small detail like drawing pearls, flower petals, eye highlight, and many more. Though I would say this brush is only good for small objects and is not suited to draw big objects, as the outline is too thin to be seen when drawing something big. Oh, and if you want more outline inside an already painted area, just open a new layer to draw on top of it to have the outline appear again. Next brush is the fuzzy brush. This is basically a neat line brush. This brush is great for calligraphy, line art, sketch, and all that ink cool stuff. And guess what? When you tilt your Apple Pencil using this brush, it will create a color pencil effect. This is great for a very sketchy looking sketch, or even have more variety of media style in your artwork. So yeah, that's all.